Welcome back, everybody. So this is a video I was dreading making, but figured it's only right to share with you guys the news, since you guys have been following Hollywood all year long. You knew from the last video that actually when I shot Wells that I said I was really nervous about Hollywood. He hadn't shown up for 2 weeks. And I was nervous that something had happened to him. Well, Hollywood showed back up on our farm on November 10th. I went and checked a bunch of trail cameras below the barn, and there he was. November 10th, he came walking in front of the trail camera, and he had a really bad limp. He wouldn't put any weight hardly at all on his front right leg, and that was due to an arrow wound. I think he had like in the shoulder or maybe right at the top of the leg. Anyways, Hollywood wasn't looking that good. He'd definitely been shot by a hunter in the leg with an arrow or in the shoulder, and which I think would be why he was gone for 2 weeks. And my theory is, let's go back to the beginning here. Let me explain to you why I call him Hollywood. So the reason I named this buck Hollywood was because every time I had a trail cam, like every trail camera I had out on our farm, Hollywood would go in front of and like pose for the camera all the way since like June, July, August. I mean, every camera I had down below the barn, Hollywood would find and just like give me a good pose. It was crazy. So that's how I gave him the name Hollywood. And Hollywood stuck to the creek bottom and below the farm all year. He had a tiny little range that he never left. And it was like October 18th was the first time he finally ventured away from that home range on the creek bottom. He actually crossed the road into Cherry Ridge, and he went right down the gator path, and he actually spent like probably 5 or 6 days in Cherry Ridge. I was getting him very consistently on the gator pass, walking all over down in there. And I did hunt him down there all the way to the 28th of October, and I was never able to connect with him. And it was, I think, like the 28th of November, or the 28th of October was the very last trail camera picture I had of him, and then he disappeared for 2 weeks. Well, what I believe is he had ventured up on the hill the 28th or 29th and got shot by somebody in the leg, and that's why he went MIA. I think he held really tight and wasn't really running around, obviously, because he was hurting so bad, and he was trying to let that leg heal. Anyways, he finally showed back up on the farm, and I got pictures of him November 10th. Well, it was November 13th. He was below the farm on the creek bottom. The neighbor had pictures of him in the food plot. I think it was like 2 in the morning on the morning of November 13th. Well, anyways, Hollywood chased a doe out of the creek bottom, crossed the road going toward Cherry Ridge, but he was on the high side of the creek. And he chased that doe into the neighbor's, and the neighbor owns a tiny, it's really just like a little bit of brush the neighbors own right there. It's a field and brush. And Hollywood chased the doe into that field and ended up getting shot by one of the gentlemen that hunted on the neighbor's property right there. Made a good shot on him and killed Hollywood. So, congratulations to the hunter that killed Hollywood. That's really all you can ask for when you're a landowner and a deer manager. That's what you strive to do, is to get deer to maturity and get them to express that kind of rack. So you really can't be upset. I mean, you can be sad, but you can't be upset when somebody shoots one, because that's really the end goal. I mean, what that means is that neighbor didn't shoot a little buck. He didn't shoot a 2.5-year-old. He shot a big buck. So as long as everybody's shooting big bucks, guess what? Next year there's going to be a lot more big bucks. So really, I'm super happy for the hunter that he got such an awesome buck, that he killed Hollywood, but I'm sad that the deer is gone, if that makes any sense. You watch it. I know I'm never going to go down there and check a trail camera and see Hollywood again. He's gone. He's dead. All because of a doe that ran onto this little chunk that ended up having a hunter in it. And I know that deer never spent any time where he was killed, actually. Every time he was on that side of the road, he was in Cherry Ridge, because I have a slew of cameras on every trail that crosses the road right there, and he never, ever spent any time where he was killed other than the day he was killed there. So it was really a 1 in a million chance that that hunter killed him, because it was the only time that deer was ever there, because I had cameras lining up the whole field that he was on. So it was really just like a absolute perfect storm, and it was meant to happen for that hunter to kill that deer. So that's the story on Hollywood. I have hours and hours of trail cam video of this deer. I'm going to go ahead and finish this video out with all the footage I have of him. And anyways, the chase for Hollywood, over, done. He's dead. So this is one of the first years I can remember that our top 5 bucks are dead, and it's not even rifle season. Crazy. Crazy. Let's watch Hollywood's trail cam footage and call this video a wrap. Thanks for watching, everybody.